Good evening, credit union members, and welcome to the 84th Annual Meeting of Canton School Employees Federal Credit Union. My name is Howard Taylor, and I have had the privilege of serving as chairman of the board this past year. With me this evening is the current unions, or it's credit unions, I'm sorry, slow that thing down a little bit. Okay, we're into it for 30 seconds, folks. We got a little club here. Okay, the credit union's elected president and chief executive officer, Bill Wittig. Bill, welcome to you, your first annual meeting as president and CEO. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Howard.
After 2 years of meeting virtually, we ask you, our members, what you preferred for this year. Your response to our survey was quite clear. The virtual meeting format was preferred by many of you. Now, I have no reason to think otherwise, but perhaps Bill and I are a little scarier in person than we are on a small screen. But your responses were quite clear, and the virtual format or venue for this meeting does not in any way diminish the importance of the business that we'll be conducting here this evening. Your credit union's annual meeting provides you a great opportunity to hear directly from leadership about credit union accomplishments, opportunities, and plans for the future. It also gives you the opportunity to vote for members of the board of directors. So I want to thank you for joining us this evening. And I want to take a moment before we start and ask Bill to explain some of the features of this virtual meeting room and encourage your participation.
What you see on your screen is quite similar to what you would see if you joined us last year. And for those of you joining us virtually for the first time, let me point out a few of the features that allow you to participate in tonight's meeting. First, on the right-hand side of the screen, you see a box that allows you to download a copy of tonight's annual meeting packet. This packet includes copies of credit union financial statements and committee reports, as well as biographical information on all of our board candidates. Just below that, you see a space to submit questions. Please don't include any personal or account information in your question. We will address as many of the questions we can later in the meeting. Finally, when prompted by the chairman, you will have the ability to make and vote on any motions that come up for action during this meeting. You will see information on your screens on how to do that when it is time. Hopefully this information will get you the most out of tonight's meeting.
So let's get started. At this time, I would like to call the 84th annual meeting of this credit union to order. CSE bylaws specifies that 15 members of the credit union can constitute a quorum at annual or special meetings. Our meeting administrator has a record of members participating tonight, and I have been informed that we have exceeded the minimum quorum required to proceed. With that, let's move on to the approval of the minutes from last year's annual meeting. The minutes of last year's annual meeting have been provided in the documents section of the site. Having had an opportunity to review the minutes as printed, I'll now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the 83rd annual meeting that was held April 6th, 2021. You will now have the opportunity to move and second this motion as it appears on your screen. I'm waiting here for a moment for all of those approvals to take place. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of last year's annual meeting. All those in favor of the motion select yes. Anyone opposed select no and simply hit submit. You'll now have a few seconds to submit your vote. All votes will be calculated by the meeting moderator and available shortly. The motion is carried and the minutes have been approved. While you don't see them, our board of directors are with us virtually tonight. And we thought it would be very appropriate if we let our board members provide all of you a recap of CSE's 2021 accomplishments. With all of the work that they do behind the scenes, the annual meeting gives you the opportunity to see some of them. So tonight, while they are not here in person, they have pre-recorded a video with a message for all of you. Let's take a look.
It's hard to believe that 2021 is already behind us. Though the pandemic continued throughout the year, it felt as though each week passed faster than the week before. While 2020 was a strong year for CSE, there was still much uncertainty heading into 2021. What would happen with COVID? How would issues with the supply chain impact all of our lives? What would our members' lives look like financially with the current state of the world?
Those burning questions, along with many others, would continue to be at the forefront of discussions inside the walls of CSE. Fortunately for CSE, COVID acted as an accelerator for some strategic initiatives and projects that would lead to 2021 being by far our single greatest year ever. Here's a look at some of our greatest accomplishments since our last annual meeting.
Most importantly, we named a new president and CEO. Our former president and CEO, Stan Barnes, retired after 28 years of outstanding service to our credit union. After an exhaustive 6-month nationwide search, we were proud to promote from within and name our Chief Financial Officer, Bill Wittig, as our new president and CEO.
With 28 years of experience in credit unions, including the last 11 as CSE's Chief Financial Officer, Wittig brings a vast amount of knowledge and experience to his new role and will continue to carry out CSE's mission. As we transition leadership from Stan to Bill, we are excited to see what comes next. Bill's understanding of the credit union industry, combined with his vision and determination, leave no doubt that the future of our credit union is very bright.
For the second consecutive year, CSE was named Ohio's #1 credit union by Forbes. Not only were we the #1 credit union in Ohio, but we were also named the #8 overall financial institute in the United States. Forbes works with Statista, the global #1 business data platform, to develop an in-depth study based on an evaluation of many dimensions within a financial institute. Being rated as #1 credit union in Ohio for consecutive years speaks volumes about our credit union, from top to bottom. Our commitment to helping our community only grows stronger as we assist our members in obtaining financial wellness.
In 2020, CSE became certified as a CDFI, or Community Development Financial Institution, by the United States Department of the Treasury. This process to become a certified CDFI is not simple, but the benefits are certainly worth the effort. Certified CDFIs are eligible to apply for awards through a variety of programs offered by the CDFI Fund. These awards enable CDFIs to finance a wide range of activities.
And CSE is proud to have been awarded over $2.5 million in just 2 years to help us continue to develop and fund new loan programs for our community. We are currently working to develop a student loan program for members in our community who plan to attend schooling options where standard student loans are not feasible options.
In 2020, CSE became principal partners with both Visa and MasterCard to better serve our credit and debit card holders. As a part of this partnership, we have received several tools and programs which combine seamlessly with the current infrastructure that makes up our credit and debit card portfolios.
These affiliations have helped our card programs become more affordable, more efficient, and more rewarding to our members, all while keeping our cards free to use with no annual fees, no minimum balance requirements, and an incredible option to use while producing tens of millions of points for members to redeem for great rewards. Our card programs are our single greatest touch point for you, our members. Continuing to give members a variety of options in the world of payments and money movement is a top priority for CSE moving into the future. Visa and MasterCard are a large part of that.
We would love to share more of what is happening at the credit union. Unfortunately, we don't have time to review everything that has happened at CSE in the past year. Nevertheless, we can say with uttermost confidence that CSE is stronger now than ever before. The proof is in the numbers. A review of those financial later this evening during our Treasurer's Report will attest to that.
Double-digit growth in our assets and loan portfolio with low and manageable delinquency illustrates that we continue to be committed to serving our members while living out our mission of helping all people in our community achieve financial strength by providing sound financial products, outstanding service, and financial education.
Thank you for banking local and continuing to trust CSE Federal Credit Union as your financial institution. We realize that options for financial services are expanding faster than ever, but we are confident that CSE will continue to be honest, fair, trustworthy, and your best option moving forward.
Thank you to the Board of Directors for that message, and thank you for your efforts to make all of those accomplishments happen. Now it's time to announce the winners of our third annual Video Scholarship Contest. Our Board of Directors appropriated $10,000 to award scholarships, and we're excited to award those here tonight. But before we announce those winners, we are very pleased to announce that we have named this special scholarship program. As you were reminded in the board video, Stan Barnes retired at the end of 2021. He served 28 years in his role as president and CEO, overseeing unprecedented growth for our credit union. However, there is more to the story about Stan and the Barnes family that you may not know. The Barnes family has been around CSE Federal Credit Union since the beginning. In fact, Stan's grandfather, J.R. Barnes, was one of the original 14 charter members who formed the credit union back in 1938. Stan's father, Dick Barnes, was involved in the credit union as a board member for 10 years and a credit union advocate for his entire life. With Stan's retirement, we wanted to find a way to honor his legacy and remember not only Stan, but the entire Barnes family for their contributions to CSE. It's a natural fit to name our scholarship after the Barnes family. Education is in their DNA. Stan's grandfather and father were both educators in the Canton City School District, and Stan's desire was to ensure that CSE remained committed to financial education. Let's officially award our third round of winners of our Barnes Family Educational Scholarship Video Contest. This year we had 15 members who were attending post-secondary education apply for one of our 4 $2,500 scholarships that we're awarding this evening. And again this year, we had some outstanding video submissions. Applicants for our 2022 scholarship contest were tasked with creating a new 1 to 2 minute video where they imagined that they were a teacher educating students on the importance of financial wellness and how it affects overall health. Our scholarship committee scored the submissions based on a scoring rubric, and we are happy to officially announce our 4 winners here tonight. We will start by showing you the winning videos. Our first winner is Hannah Marino. Hannah will be attending Cedarville University in the fall.
Good morning, students. Today we will continue our unit about finances and financial wellness. We're going to discuss budgeting tips, saving money, and credit. Wait a minute! This is all wrong. I know you think I live here at school, but I actually don't. I do indeed have a personal life. Come spend an afternoon with me. I want to share a few real-life examples to help you take care of your finances. To create a budget, start by tracking your spending. Save all of your receipts and invoices. Keep a log of your income and all expenses. This makes sure that you know where your money is going. This budget may change every month. Be sure to update your budget as needed. As high schoolers, you don't have a mortgage or loans to pay off yet. Use this time to save for the future. Remember that no amount is too small. Open a savings account and use it. Most savings accounts are free, like those at CSE Federal Credit Union. It is also important to establish an emergency savings fund. This should be the amount of your expenses for 3 months. In case of an emergency or lack of income, this money will help sustain you temporarily. When you are not prepared financially, it can have a negative effect on your mental and physical health. Having an emergency fund will ensure you are prepared for the unknown. Building credit is another great way to establish financial wellness and prepare for the future. Using a credit card for small purchases is the smartest way to begin building credit. Don't spend money you don't have. It is also important to pay your credit card off each month so you do not accrue interest and end up paying more than what you originally intended. Thanks for joining me today, and remember what we've learned. If you don't take initiative now and make a plan for your future, you won't be prepared when it really matters. And you might just end up wasting your resources.
Congratulations, Hannah, and well done. Our second scholarship goes to Whisper Johnson. Whisper will be attending Bowling Green State University in the fall.
We have all experienced stress, feeling overwhelmed or as if you're not in control of whatever situation you're in, making you unable to relax or put your mind at ease. It's not a fun feeling. Now imagine that stress coming from financial distress, whether that's not having enough money for emergencies, food, or simply to throw around. Financial stress can take a toll on a person. Generally, a high level of stress can manifest itself into physical ailments. What with how much strain this puts on the brain, this isn't that surprising. Such ailments include a risk factor in cardiovascular disease, a progression in many pre-existing diseases, slowing your body's healing response, or an increased chance of getting upper respiratory diseases. With your immune defense being lowered from said stress, you're a lot more open to getting ill. It's like a battery getting its energy drained and a device lacking the power to function at its highest potential, so some things will start to malfunction. Though there are some ways to avoid situations like this, many people will say, "Oh, saving is what's most important," or even, "Only spend money on important things, nothing too frugal." But let's be honest, the key word here is budgeting. It's practically predicting the future. You can start by calculating your weekly income or however much money you currently have. This is especially important if you have savings. Next, think of all the expenses you'll have or be paying within the month. If you're an adult, this can be things like gas, utilities, groceries, or other important expenses. For teens and adults, this can be college tuition, gas, or groceries as well. Even young kids can calculate for toys or clothing, maybe even some snacks. Once that's all figured out and you have the total monthly cost for these items, it's time to divide up your money. Allocate funds to your needed expenses and see how much money you have left over. At that point, it's up to you to save that money and let it grow with your next income, or spend it immediately. Though I would recommend saving it. You never know when a rainy day might come, or maybe that extra dough could be used to purchase something fun. The bottom line is, think ahead now before you're too drained and stressed to think in the future.
Congratulations, Whisper. Our third winner is Sienna Pilati. Sienna is still narrowing down her options for which school she will be attending, but will start her college journey in the fall.
Alright class, so today we are going to be learning about money. Who here likes money? I love money. My grandma gives me $20 every month. And what do you do with that $20? My parents usually make me put it in the bank. But sometimes I really want to spend it on toys. Toys are pretty great. But by putting your money in the bank, your parents are teaching you financial wellness. Financial what? Financial wellness. This means that you are making responsible decisions with your money for the future. By putting your $20 in the bank, it will add up over time and you'll have more money for things later. I guess I'd rather save than buy stuff I really don't need. Now, we've talked about financial wellness and the importance of saving, but did you guys know that money can affect your health? I'm too strong to let little green pieces of paper affect me. I'm glad you're strong and healthy, Kyle, but money can affect your mental and physical well-being. So do I have to give my money medicine? No, but there are ways that you can take care of your money. For example, when you grow up and get a credit card, you want to have good credit by not spending too much so you don't go into debt. What's a debt? Debt happens when you run out of money but you keep buying things, and then you don't have any means to pay it back. This stresses you out and can cause your mind and your body to become unhealthy. So in order to stay strong and healthy, we also have to take care of our money. That's right. I am so proud of you all for learning about your financial health and wellness. Now, don't forget this lesson, because money is something we have to take care of our entire lives. Oh, that's the bell. See you all tomorrow.
Congratulations, Sienna. Great work. Our final winner is Corbin Williams. Corbin will be attending Ohio University in the fall.
Hey kid. Yeah, you. No, not that guy to your left or that gal to your right. I'm talking to you. Ever heard of compound interest? No? Well, do I have something to show you? Compound interest can be your best friend or your worst enemy. When you save money, compound interest works to your advantage by allowing you to grow your savings over time. But if you spend money that you don't have by racking up more debt than you can afford, well, someone else is getting all the benefit. There's a time and place for credit cards and other forms of credit when they are used with a plan in mind as a way of reducing the liability for unauthorized purchases, accumulating awards, and getting discounts for things that you're going to purchase anyways. What's compound interest? I'm so glad you asked. Well, it works like this. If you invest $5,000 in stocks or other investments that grow at 6% per year, you'll double your investment to $10,000 in about 12 years. But it will be worth $20,000 in 24 years. Yeah, I know. You don't have $5,000 to invest. Fair enough. But did you know that saving just $5 per week at 6% interest compounded monthly will net you nearly $20,000 in 30 years? Still not getting it? Here, let me draw you a picture. See how those two lines grow farther apart over time? Yeah, that's the benefit of compounding interest. So, what am I telling you? You're young. Time is your friend. Start saving today. It doesn't matter how much. Even as little as $5 per week, the cost of a fancy cup of coffee can put you on the path to financial freedom. Stop into CSE to open an account today, and let's get started.
Congratulations, Corbin, and to all of our winners. Great job. Each of these videos was impressive, and we wish all of you the very best of luck with your upcoming schooling in the fall. We also want to give a big thanks to all of our scholarship applicants. It's not easy to put together creative videos, but to all of you who submitted applications into our 2022 Barnes Family Educational Scholarship Video Contest, we thank you for your time and your effort, and we appreciate all of your being members here at CSE. And thank you to the members of the Scholarship Committee for making this happen. Now let's move on to the report of the Nominating Committee. An important part of our annual meeting is the election of board members. I'd like to ask Bill to deliver the report of the Nominating Committee. Bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Volunteers serving on the board of directors of this credit union or any credit union form a fundamental part of what makes credit unions different than other financial institutions. Volunteer leadership, democratic governance, cooperative ownership, and our not-for-profit motivation of helping people form the basic principles of the credit union movement and clearly demonstrate the credit union difference. Recognizing the importance of fair and open elections and volunteer governance, the Board of Directors adopted new bylaws in June of 2017, which significantly changed the procedures we have used in the past to elect board members. With the intent to increase opportunities available for members to vote for Board of Directors, the bylaws now provide for open voting for a 3-day period before the annual meeting, voting at the annual meeting, just as we have always done, and an opportunity for members to request and vote by absentee ballot. First absentee ballots were available for members requesting them starting on March 1st, 2022. Second, 3 days of in-office voting was available to all members on March 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Third, voting was available to all members virtually this evening from 4:30 until the start of the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Now on to the election. It is the duty of the nominating committee to appoint at least one candidate for each vacancy. The nominating committee was appointed by the chairman in a timely manner, and 8 candidates were nominated by the committee for the 3 open positions on the board of directors. Then, pursuant to our bylaws, notice was given to the membership that nominations for the board of directors could also be made by petition to the nominating committee. The requirements for nomination by petition were provided to the membership. Petitions for self-nomination were due to the board's secretary no later than February 15, 2022. As of the deadline, no members submitted petitions for nomination. This year, since the number of candidates nominated exceeded the number of seats available, an election was required. Votes cast this evening before the start of the meeting are being added to the results of other voting methods previously described. All votes submitted were received, maintained, and tabulated by CU Ballot, the firm we contracted with to process our election. Final results of the votes will be available and provided to the chairman and me before the end of tonight's meeting. The bylaws stipulate that there will be no nomination from the floor and the number of nominees equals or exceeds the number of positions to be filled. As previously said, this year there are 3 positions available for the board of directors, each for a 3 full-year term. There are 8 candidates that have been nominated. Therefore, in accordance with the bylaws, there will be no nominations from the floor this evening. I would like to recognize and thank the members of the nominating committee. They include Stan Barnes, Louistine Holloway Moore, Pastor Walter Moss, Mike Ray, Pam Travis, and myself, Bill Wittig. I know that all of you will join me in thanking these individuals for their willingness to volunteer their service to the credit union. On behalf of the nominating committee, I would also like to thank the candidates for their interest in serving the credit union and their participation in the process. These candidates include Mahogany Coward, Dennis Fleckner, Philip Forche, Andrew Gazzetta, Stephen Lewis, Michael Sturdivant, James Swinderman, and Sherry Young. On behalf of the nominating committee, I would like to all the members that took time to vote. The results of the election are currently being tabulated, and certification will be announced at the conclusion of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. At this time, it's my privilege to deliver my comments to the membership. As chair of the board of CSE Federal Credit Union, I've had the privilege this past year of working with a group of volunteer board members and a senior management team that has included former CEO Stan Barnes and current CEO Bill Wittig. And I can assure you that they have worked together to ensure your credit union is relevant, responsive, and a vital part of our financial laws. But 2021, while perhaps not as challenging and difficult a year as 2020, has been challenging nonetheless. CSE Federal Credit Union is continuing to emerge from these unprecedented times and is stronger and better prepared to meet the financial needs of the membership than ever before. By working together, the membership is better prepared to face the varied financial challenges in the lives of our membership. The role of the board of directors is to oversee the business practices, policies, and procedures of the credit union and ensure the president and senior management team serve the best interests of our members. And as volunteers elected from the membership, we represent a vast and invested interest in the continued financial strength and success of CSE. I'm pleased to report that in 2021, CSE Federal Credit Union performed incredibly well financially, as our financial report indicates. Your credit union, in spite of 2 years of COVID-19 challenges, is well capitalized, financially sound, and serving the membership well. Our leadership, beginning with our recently elected President and Chief Executive Officer, Bill Wittig, along with the senior management team, are to be commended and thanked for their outstanding efforts this year. Now, as we move forward and secure our best year ever, you can be assured that CSE's leadership will continue to craft new products and services offered at competitive pricing and delivered to you in the most convenient ways possible. Our members have every reason to expect this from us. Although a greater explanation of our financial picture will emerge this evening from our treasurer, Dennis Fleckner, I do want to highlight just 4 quick points. The first is that the total of outstanding loans to our community membership ended the year at nearly $35,000. Those loans total $208,893. I'm sorry, they total $208 million. Big difference there, don't you think, Bill?
Yes.
$208,893,197. This is the highest dollar amount of loans on books at year end that we have ever recorded. The total loans granted just through the year 2021 were nearly 13,000 loans. Those loans to members totaled $173,298,753. And that dollar amount represents the most dollars we have ever loaned in one single year. Total assets as of year end, nearly $370 million. Total shares as of year end, 335,128,925. CSE was awarded in 2021 for the first time a CDFI grant of $1,826,000, which is the highest grant awarded by the CDFI in 2021. Over the next 3 years, we will be allocating a total of $870,000 to a new student loan program dedicated specifically to members who are attending trade and or vocational schools. These will be different from standard student loan options. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to thank each of you, our loyal membership, for your continued support of the credit union. Financial service delivery continues to change rapidly, and the financial services industry is crowded with numerous options for our members. The board understands your credit union needs to be competitive to attract and retain your business. Our efforts toward digital transformation focused on convenience will continue. While technology is critical to CSE's future success, we need to remember we are an organization of and for our membership. People are the reason CSE exists. Our commitment to fairness and respect of all persons is equally focused on our employees and members. Finally, I'd like to thank the Board of Directors for their work this past year and their dedication to the credit union. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation on behalf of the board and the membership to the staff and management of CSE. In spite of the challenges presented by the pandemic and economy, our leadership and staff remain committed to the cooperative principles of the credit union movement and work hard to make CSE your trusted financial partner. Thank you for your membership, your loyalty, and commitment to excellence. I'll now turn the program back over to Bill for the President's report. Bill?
Thank you, Howard. And thank you to the members that we have virtually here at this meeting. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to join us. I'd like to start my first annual meeting by offering up a number of thank yous. First, I would like to thank Stan Barnes for giving me the opportunity 11 years ago to become a part of this great organization. It was an honor to have been able to serve as CSE's Chief Financial Officer. Next, I would like to thank all 11 board members for the trust they have placed in me as President and CEO. I would also like to thank the board members and committee volunteers for their guidance and dedication to our credit union and the many hours of volunteer service to making CSE the best credit union. Thank you to all the board candidates willing to run in this year's election. I am confident that each of you, if elected, would do an excellent job as part of the board. CSE has been fortunate to have always had extremely qualified candidates that run each year. I'd like to thank the CSE team of 130 employees. You are the ones that interact with and provide lasting impressions for our members, and you make all of our success every day. Finally, thank you, Tim, Angie, and Jen, for making everything that you have done to make this year's annual meeting and board of directors election process successful yet again. 2021 was a very busy year for CSE. Our tellers processed over 2.4 million transactions. Our member service representatives opened 6,849 new memberships. Our collections department, better known as our solutions department, held overall delinquency at historical low levels. In addition to that, they successfully recovered $1.3 million of previously charged off money. As Howard mentioned earlier, our loan staff wrote 12,494 loans, totaling over $173 million. Our call center agents answered 367,437 calls. And our back office support staff did an impeccable job of taking care of all of our members' and employee needs while putting all these transactions together to manage the financials. Many of these numbers are simply staggering. CSE has grown leaps and bounds through the years, but those numbers only represent the person-to-person interactions. Our payment convenience and self-service numbers are equally impressive. Over the past year, we have opened 8,122 new debit cards to bring our overall total of debit cards to 30,655. Those cards were swiped 9,173,525 times, resulting in over $362 million worth of purchases. We have also opened 1,302 new credit cards, bringing our total Visa credit cards issued to 13,401. Our teller phone 24 system, which many of you still use regularly, was called 316,214 times over the last 12 months. And we were talking about self-service. You have all completed 1,274,388 transactions on your own using our e-branch and mobile banking options. Finally, our text messaging system has sent out over 1,634,000,000 messages, keeping you up to date on your financial matters at CSE. You use our products and services, and you use them a lot. As the banking and financial service sector continues to evolve, we know that our members need and want and will continue to change, and we will look forward to furthering developing products and services that you look forward to using. While we continue to further develop and implement useful technology for members, cybersecurity and data security are always top priority. CSEA has a board-level committee focused on data security oversight. The committee evaluates security risks of any new vendor relationship and how to mitigate any exposure. With the assistance of IT experts, they monitor the threat landscape for cyber attacks, viruses, and all other threats to ensure that we have the appropriate defenses in place and they're all up to date. While CSE has a very high standard for our own data security practices, we are also held accountable for all our technology by a number of regulatory and governing bodies. We also advocate that fintech companies have similar regulation as other financial institutions to protect consumers. While on the topic of advocacy, I'd like to highlight two victories that credit unions helped to secure. First, CSE, the Ohio Credit Union League, and other credit unions around Ohio and the United States strongly advocated to protect members' privacy in opposing the IRS reporting provision that some members of Congress were proposing last year. The proposal would have required all financial institutions to send transaction information to the IRS on any members whose gross inflows and outflows to their accounts was greater than $600. This proposed rule would have been a significant intrusion of privacy for members and burdensome for our credit union. Fortunately, the proposal was not included in any final rules. Thanks in large part credit union members everywhere voicing their concern and sending a large number of letters to Congress. On a positive note, the Ohio Credit Union League was a significant proponent in getting a new rule passed in Ohio that will require financial education for all graduating high school seniors beginning in the 2024 school year. This is welcome news because the need for financial education is significant. The CSE wasn't around for a rule like that to be made. But we weren't waiting around for a rule like that to be made. Education has always been an important part of what we do, starting all the way back in 1938 when we were founded as an educators credit union. We have always provided financial education for members in our community, and for the past 4 years, we have offered Bonsai Financial Education as a resource center for financial matters. With so much inaccurate information available, our goal is to provide free, trustworthy financial information in one easy-to-use place for the Stark County community. In addition to offering Bonsai to members, CSE has sponsored Bonsai programming in 11 Stark County schools, serving 34 teachers and educating over 3,000 school students. Education doesn't stop with the Bonsai program. While COVID put a temporary stop to our in-person workshops, we have recently introduced a new Couch Chat series. The Couch Chat videos are quick overviews of different financial topics. They're meant to provide quick, easy to understand information about topics that our members have questions about. You can find our Couch Chat videos on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Taking care of members and community is critical in everything we do at CSE, but giving back to our community in other ways is equally as important. Over the past 12 months, we have worked with a number of community programs and initiatives to provide a hand. In some cases, that is by way of sponsorship or being hands-on, but one of the ways that I am most proud of is our efforts is in our quarterly community activities. Each quarter we have focused on raising money or collecting items, in some cases both, for different programs. Here is what we have been able to contribute. We collected 689 pounds of food and raised an additional $525, which totaled 2,674 meals contributed to the Akron Canton Food Bank. We raised $705 to the cancer research to go to cancer research through the Altman Foundation. We raised and collected $3,529 for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library through the Stark Library. We donated gifts to 63 children and families through the Salvation Army. We raised $2,500 to donate to Wishes Can Happen. We collected over 700 hygiene items and raised $482 for the Domestic Violence Project. None of these feats could be accomplished without the kindness and generosity of our great staff and wonderful members. So what does 2022 have in store for CSE? Here's just a few items. We are expanding our instant issue debit and credit cards to each office. For the past 5 years, we have been able to offer members the ability to come to our Canton or Martyrs Lake office to get a new credit card or debit card. Soon you'll be able to walk into any CSE office to get a new card. In addition to instant issuance of credit and debit cards, we are working to bring digital card issuance and contactless cash at ATMs. This digital issuance means that you can have instant access to your credit or debit card after it's approved and open. You'll be able to purchase items using your phone via the mobile wallet. You will still receive a card in the mail in a few days later, but you won't have to wait to have access to your funds. Contactless cash at ATMs is similar to using tap and pay or mobile wallets as a store checkout. Soon you will be able to access cash from a CSE ATM using your debit card, tap and go functionality, or with your mobile wallet on your phone. We were talking about credit and debit cards. Many of you have become familiar with and avid users of our More Rewards program. Just a few years ago, we were very successful and able to combine our credit and debit card points into one program. So now it doesn't matter if you use your credit or debit card. You earn points every time you make a purchase or payment, and your points add up more quickly. We are looking into expanding our More Rewards program to other areas of your banking. For example, you may be able to redeem points to get a discount on a loan rate or a better savings rate on a certificate. We're evaluating all touch points for members to provide you a well-rounded More Rewards program to make banking at CSE even better. As you heard from other reports earlier, we are currently developing a loan program for job certification training. This will allow greater flexibility for members who are looking to go through a certification program that requires so many hours of schooling and on-the-job training, while not providing much time to continue working a job or providing income. We are also looking at improving efficiencies on a daily basis. Expanded training for our entire staff remains a huge priority. In addition to the training, we are working on digitalization of account opening documents, loan documents, and all other forms. You'll no longer need to worry about all the printed documents that come with a new account or loan. And CSE's carbon footprint will be significantly lower as we save on all of the printing of those documents. On behalf of all CSE, I would also like to thank Joe Eden, who is completing a 6th term tonight and retiring from the board after 18 years of service. We have been proud to have you had you as a board member all these years. We truly appreciate your dedication and wisdom you brought to every meeting. Your decision making is always in the best interest of our team and our members. We wish you and Carol the best. God bless. Finally, I want to thank you, all our members, for belonging to CSE, and thank you for your continued support of our credit union.
Thanks so much, Bill. The next item on the agenda is the Treasurer's Report. Our Treasurer, Dennis Fleckner, has pre-recorded his report, and we will share that with you right now.
Hi, I'm Dennis Fleckner, Treasurer of CSE Federal Credit Union, and it is my honor to present the 2021 Financial Report. As you heard from our Board of Directors earlier, 2021 was a fantastic year for our credit union financially. When COVID started in early 2020, the uncertainty of the situation raised some concerns as to what would happen with our credit union's financials. We evaluated some alternative strategic opportunities for business and growth that were, at that time, big picture, long-term goals. COVID fast-tracked some of those plans, and they have paid off in a big way for CSE. Here is a quick rundown of our 2021 financials. You can find a copy of our 2021 financial report in the 2022 annual meeting packet that is available in this virtual meeting room. In 2021, CSE was driven by a few key factors. Loan growth and asset growth were the driving force behind much of our success. Annualized loan growth was at a 10.17, while annualized asset growth was at 13.13. While we were growing in key areas, our solutions department worked diligently to keep asset quality high. A strong year of growth plus controlled delinquency was accompanied by some significant one-time payments from strategic initiatives that resulted in a staggering net income in 2021 of over $6 million. That net income contributed greatly to bring our capital ratio in line with our goals. Our capital ratio was diluted significantly from all of the funds that came in from stimulus funds and child tax credits. Having a healthy capital ratio is key to sustaining growth, investing in new products and services, and being able to serve our members efficiently. Looking at the balance sheet, CSE ended 2021 at an all-time high in total assets, as we were just shy of $370 million in total assets. Overall, CSE continues to remain well capitalized and financially strong and stable. Thank you, and we appreciate your support and continue banking at CSE.
The next item on the agenda is the Supervisory Committee report. Bill, I wonder if you would be so kind as to deliver that committee's report to the members.
I'm happy to deliver the Supervisory Committee report on behalf of Tom Snyder, the Chairman of the Supervisory Committee. The Supervisory Committee of CSE Federal Credit Union meets quarterly to fulfill its role of ensuring that member accounts are properly maintained and reported, that a system of internal controls is in place and effectively functioning, and that an annual audit of books and records of the credit union is carried out and reported deficiencies, if any, are properly and timely addressed. To carry out the roles of the Supervisory Committee is retained the independent accounting firm of Lilly & Company. In addition to the annual audit and verification of member deposits, the credit union has its own internal audit department. This department performs regular internal control and regulatory compliance reviews and reports the results of those reviews directly to the Supervisory Committee. As the credit union continues to grow and the financial service delivery methods evolve to meeting changing member demands and expectations, our internal control and internal audit efforts must increase to keep pace with the complexity of the operation. This year, I am pleased to report that the annual audit and verification of member share account balances was successfully completed and an unqualified or clean opinion audit was issued. The accounting firm stated in their opinion letter that the financial statements as of June 30th, 2021 present fairly in all material respects. The financial position of the Federal Credit Union and the consolidated results of operations and cash flows are in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. I would like to thank the credit union's management team for their support of the committee's efforts and their commitment to fair, honest, and accurate reporting of member information. I would also like to thank my fellow Supervisory Committee members, Ryan Clausen, Adam Fisher, Arico Jackson, and Courtney Wheeler for their service to the committee. Respectively submitted, Tom Snyder, Chairman of the Supervisory Committee.
Thanks, Bill. We appreciate that. Now we're at the point in the agenda where we ask if there is any old business to be considered tonight. I'm getting a signal from the sidelines there is none. And so we will ask if there is any new business to be considered tonight. I'm getting the same comment. Hearing none, we will move on and ask if there is any new business. Now, I just did that, didn't I? At this time, I would ask our election administrator if the results of the board of director election have been certified and are ready for announcement to the membership. I understand that they are. Bill, would you please present the results of this year's election to the members?
We would like to congratulate Denny Fleckner, Stephen Lewis, and Jim Swinterman. On behalf of the board, I want to congratulate the successful candidates elected this evening.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Have there been any questions? I look to my sideline assistants here from the membership that we are going to address this evening. Okay. There are a couple questions.
One, we have a question. Somebody was asking if they were able, since they were able to submit a vote twice online before the meeting, is there a way to prevent the extra vote from being counted?
Bill, do you want to handle that?
There's not a way for it to prevent you from voting more than once, but the system does track that and catch that. It does detect that. So basically, your final vote that you submitted is the one that is actually submitted that counts. So if you voted for, candidate A and you decided you want to change it to candidate B, as your second vote is the one that counts and your first one is eliminated.
Any other questions? All right. No other questions. And again, feel free, if you have questions, to contact any of the leadership here at the credit union. We're more than anxious to make sure that those questions are answered. For those of you who are regular attendees at the annual meeting, you know better than anyone else that no annual meeting would be complete without door prizes. As members logged into the meeting this evening, we randomly selected 10 members who will receive a $25 CSE Visa gift card. Those will be dropped in the mail tomorrow, I've been promised. And congratulations go to the following members. Bill, you want to read the first 5?
Congratulations, Mahogany Coward, Mark Spittler, Hannah Marino, Zachary Ralston, and Mark Dolan.
And number 6 through 10, Larry McDonald, Stan Barnes, Lisa Marino, Angela Cross, and Caden Smith. So thank you for all of you who tuned in and joined us. And again, those gift cards will be in the mail immediately. There being no other business to come before this body, the 84th annual meeting of Canton School Employees Federal Credit Union is adjourned. Please drive carefully.